Hello and welcome. My name is Spacemuffin and this is the Void Strategy. So today we are talking about Wonder Woman. She is God tier, guys, so she's super amazing. This is going to be a really great hero guide. So before we get started, guys, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, guys. Also, if you didn't know, we have a Discord. So you can join our Discord at thevoid.gg. So moving forward, guys, we have Wonder Woman and there's a lot to cover. So first and foremost, she is obviously a legendary tactical hero, and she has a lot of strong AoE damage, and she has a chance to stun on crit, so we'll kind of talk about that right now. So her ultimate ability is called Judgment and Infinity, and this deals physical damage equal to 160% of attack to all enemies. If the damage crits, there's a 25% chance of inflicting stun on maximum of 2 targets for 1 turn. So this is really, really good, borderline broken, and you'll see why here in a bit. Her next ability is, her next skill is the sword ability. So what this does is just a basic attack. It deals 95%, and she attacks, additionally gains 1 stack of Frantic for 2 turns. That's if you have, once again, these skills unlocked as you level her up. But the basic ability just deals physical damage, 85% of the attack. Next is Lasso of Truth. So the thing about Lasso of Truth that's interesting is you throw the Lasso of Truth on an enemy, dealing physical damage equal to 180% of the attack. If the damage crits, so here we go again with the crits, she has a 60% chance to inflict silence for 2 turns. Okay, so we're starting to see a pattern here. Passive. During battle, increase crit damage of all allies by 10%. So this is incredibly good. Okay, and then her passive, during battle, every 1% crit, she has a chance to deal 0.3% damage up to 20%. So why is this amazing, right? So let's look at her her gear, right? So you'll notice all the gear is pretty much crit. You could even go all crit. I use her as a pseudo tank, so you can either do block or you can do like health, basically HP. So what we do is you want to max out all of her gear. So you do that obviously by doing that, click strengthen, and this maxes out the gear. I have a legendary piece on her right now, so we want to max out that crit. Boom, look at that. So oops, I don't have enough. Okay, so let's go quick select. And bam, look at that. Barely anything, like, to level that up. So anyways, so yeah, you want to level up all of, as much as you can. You want to level up all of her gear, because she's very gear dependent in the sense that you're going to need this crit set, right? You're going to need to really increase the crit. So who does she work well with? That's kind of one of the things that we need to do. So, and as you can see, like, I've kind of prioritized, like, the badge. Obviously it increases the crit, but what we want to do here, guys, okay, is we want to look at, like, all the other synergies with that. So you want to, once again, prioritize crit. As far as artifact options goes, you have the Lasso of Truth, which increases crit on enemy targets. You also have Chaos Crystal, which also increases extra burst and synergizes well with her AoE. And then Wrist Gun is also really good. It's a good utility if the target is like a high health enemy, if that makes any sense. So a lot of her goods team synergy. So she's going to work well with Lex Luthor. So Lex Luthor adds the shield. It adds that passive defense. And yeah, it's really, she works really good with Lex. Another hero that she works good with is the Flash. So this allows you to have that turn control, and plus, she has that he has that cleansing utility as well. Constantine or Sinestro also works very good for tactical. Kind of you get to debuff and things like that. And then of course Guy Gardner works well with her for the burst synergy, as well as using the if you're using a heavy shield team. So frankly put, though, she works good in any team. And that's why she's God tier. She works good in pretty much any team. She can act as a pseudo tank, and she hits brutal. Once again, you want to hit that early crit. So you want to put her, like, you can synergize her with Zatanna as well to kind of have that sustain. But I'll kind of show you guys real quick why, or what we're gonna do basically in PvP. So I'll go and show you that right now. Awesome, guys. So here we are. As you can see, we kind of have a nice synergy going here with Wonder Woman, we're using her as kind of an off tank. You want to prioritize her ultimate first, and then we'll go ahead and get into the fight here. Obviously, our enemy is not S tier, but I want to show off some basic mechanics. And then what we'll do is I will play some more high-level games here in a little bit. So as you can see, this is her ultimate. You guys already know what it looks like, and she basically just destroys everybody. Awesome. Okay, so this is the setup once again, and you can replace a lot of these characters with different people. So for example, we could probably replace Flash with Guy Gardner, right? And let's go ahead and do this. Actually, there we go. So what we can do here is we can kind of demonstrate that. So the ultimates are still going to be the same. You want to prioritize her ultimate. That is, of course, if you're basing the entire team around her, and then of course you want to have Lex's ult. So. Guy Gardner pops his shield. Wonder Woman has the lasso, and as you can see, she's kind of like a one unit army. She's gonna pop people. She's gonna deal the damage, but she's able to pop her ult, and it really once you get those crits off, it really helps when you can stun the enemy. So obviously in high level gameplay, you're gonna be stunning. You could be stunning another Lex Luthor. You could be stunning Batman or Superman or one of these high level characters as well. So it basically makes that character once again inactive, and so it's kind of a self-feeding loop. Her crit basically is going to continuously give you that 25% chance to stun, right? With her ult. So that's why it's kind of very important to prioritize the crit. So as you can see, we're just going to keep playing a lot of games here. I'm going to show you that I'm just going to keep winning. But with the synergies and things like that, you have elements of, once again, she's off-tanking. She's not a tanky character. She's not designed to be a tank, but she can off-tank if you set her up properly. And then once again, we didn't get that stun off that time, but the AoE pop really does good for her. She synergizes with the Zatanna because she gets that lifesteal. So, as you can see, she's getting hit pretty hard, but she's able to kind of tank a lot of these abilities. And so, once again, Lex provides the shield, and then that provides her with more tankiness, more squishiness, and then she's able to kind of roll up, and you're able to kind of finish off everybody else. So here we are. We're facing a very good team. We have Nightwing. We have a pretty good AoE stomp team. So the key is here, she's going to, once again, you have a 25% chance to stun pretty much in any of these heroes being stunned. Like Constantine, that helps us out a lot. But you see what I'm saying? Like that stun is super important. So one of the big mistakes that people make with Wonder Woman is they assume that there's just one Wonder Woman build, right? She's such a diverse hero. You can have her as a back line. As you can see, I'm using her as a front line, right? I'm kind of using her as a tank. And there's so many things you can do with this unit, right? And that's what people just don't get. So, really understanding some of the weaknesses of Wonder Woman, I think, is also very important, right? And that's kind of the key. When playing with this hero. So I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. I'm going to talk about some of her weaknesses as we get into the next game. But I just want to show you how effective this team is together, or how effective she is, when she synergizes, if that makes any sense. Epic. Awesome, guys. So one of the things that we need to talk about before we conclude this video is the weaknesses of Wonder Woman. She's not a perfect hero. She does have some shortcomings. So number one, she's very resource hungry. So she is extremely dependent on gear. You really got to get that crit rate up so you can take advantage of her stuns. Once again, a lot of her silences and her stuns are literally dependent on if you can get those crits off. So number two, she's squishy without shields, right? So if you're using her as an off tank like I am, you need to run Lex Luthor or someone to give her a little bit of sustain, or else she's going to get popped. So the other thing that you need to understand is that in really drawn out battles, she's not going to do well. right? Because like if you're running, okay, if someone's running like a sustained shield, she's not her ult is not going to do that well against them. So you got to kind of try to end battles quickly. That's why you need Constantine to help backline and really do that. Like in other words, get the to really get that damage in. So she's like in the beginning, yes, she is a noob stomper, but she's not beginner friendly. Once you get into the high meta, everyone's gonna have Wonder Woman, right? And so you have to understand like the crit and the stun mechanics and how to optimize those. So she's definitely, like, once again, not taking this away from her. She's god tier DPS, god tier control, but she needs gear and support to make her work. Okay. Awesome, guys. So there you have it. Wonder Woman, god tier. She's super amazing. And once again, you know, she's really gear dependent. You can go, if you're running, let's say you're running her as a backline, you can go full crit. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be horrific to go just straight up full crit. You know what I mean? Maximizing that, but she needs a little bit of sustain in the if you're running her as an off tank. So, like I said, love this character. Character model's amazing. She's super cool. She does synergize well with Zatanna as well as Superman. You know, there's kind of like a nice little, you get those kind of ally bonuses with her. So that's Wonder Woman, guys. You know, I mean, look, listen, if you guys like the video, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, guys, and we will see you in the next video.